How are you doing today? Yeah, you're good. I'm good. I'm glad. Am I right in thinking you are one of our hair models for the day? You are? Good. Okay. So first of all, thank you for donating your time. It's really important here that we don't just practice on mannequins. It's really important we bring real life models in for our students to practice on as well. So we do really appreciate your time, okay? So thank you for that. Now, have you been a hair model before? Have you ever come in to have your makeup done? Any facial treatments with our students before? No, this is your first time. Okay, well, that's absolutely fine. So what I will do before I bring the student in is just give you a little bit of an overview as to what to expect today, okay? I think it's a little bit nicer for you to understand a little bit about the process before we actually bring the student in, okay? I also think it just enables the student to get a little bit more of my attention, and it's not really awkward for anyone because we're all on the same page, okay? Just take that hair from your face there. Okay. So what we do here is we bring in a student at a time, so you will only ever have me and one student in here. We don't like to bring in a class just because it can feel a little bit daunting and overwhelming. So I do like to just make sure that you're as comfortable as possible, and I have had feedback before from our hair models that have said they do prefer the one-on-one sessions. It just feels a little bit less overwhelming for them, okay? And we will have the same student in with us from the beginning to end today. Sometimes we have a different student for the consultation process and a different student for the cutting process, but today we will be having the same student in, and we have a lovely lady called Erica with us today, okay? And I will of course be assisting, and I will be explaining to the student why we do particular things, okay? The student we have today is already really skilled, so she's a level 7, so she's completed these tasks many times before. So there's nothing to worry about there. This is just almost like a refresher course for Erica, just to make sure that her skill level is still where we want it to be, and just to make sure she's really happy and confident in her skill set as well. All right, so I will just take off your headband if that's okay, and just take your hair down to begin with. I just feel that gives Erica a little bit of a blank canvas to work with, so excuse me. And there we go, and I will just pop that down there. And then if I can just take your hair down. There we go. There we go. You've got a lot of hair to work with, so that's really good for us. Yeah, we always really like when someone with super long hair comes in because, like I said, it just gives us a little bit more to work with. Okay, so I'm also going to just put a robe around your chest and your neck area, okay? Okay, if you can just lift up your arms for me, thank you. Okay, I'm just going to tie that at the back. There we go. Now, how does that feel? Yeah, you're okay? All right. And can I get you a drink, or can I get you any snacks before we bring Eric in? No, you're sure? Okay. You can just go ahead and let me know at any point if you do want a drink. We can always pause and we can go get you one, okay? There's no bother at all with that, okay? All right. So I will go ahead and grab Erica, and we will begin. So the first stage is the consultation, okay? All right. Okay, Erica, so I've already explained to our client today the process. I've already made her aware of what's going on. She's really comfortable. We have the gown on. We've taken the hair off. So, of course, the first stage in any consultation is actually looking at the hair. Okay, so why don't you just go ahead and look, and I will, of course, look with you, and we can discuss what we're looking for as well. Okay. So we can see straight away the client has really thick, coarse hair. Okay, there's definitely some texture here. Yeah, so it is a little bit thinner toward the end, which again, absolutely is to be expected. And we can see that the hair does have a little bit of a curl to it. Yeah, completely. Now, do you think the curl, what level would you say the curl is? Yeah, so I'd probably say that as well. And of course, we can ask our client. Yeah, so about a 2A, a 2B. Okay. Yeah, so I do think it's really good to obviously ask the client if they're aware. A lot of clients, if they have curly hair, are completely savvy with the curl pattern and the texture, so they're often able to inform us as well. So that's a really good shout. Well done. Okay. You can also see that if you look at the hair front on, if you just come to the front with me for a moment, so you can see if you look at the hair front on, and if we just put it a little bit more like that. Yeah, so we can see that there is a little bit of asymmetry with the cut as well, and that was something that I noticed straight away. Yeah, you picked up on that too. Okay, yeah. So that is something that we can easily correct. It is really normal for people to have a little bit of an asymmetrical cut, but we can definitely level that out. You can also see the curl pattern towards the front is a little bit looser, and that's really important when we're cutting as well, because that will determine whether we want to cut when it's wet or when it's dry. Okay. Yeah. What I would do as well, and I think you actually did this, I'm sure I saw you do this at the back. You can actually just ring the curl around with your finger and just see the spring back. So see how quickly it springs back. Okay. Yeah, there you go. Absolutely. So can you see how quickly it springs back? Yeah, so that's a really good sign. That means the hair is in really good health. So you've been looking after it really well. Okay. So that's really good. All right. So what we would then do, of course, is ask the client what the plan is for her. What does she want to do long term, and what is she in for today as well? So I tend not to just focus on what the client wants today. I do like to get a really good plan as to what they want going forward as well. Okay. Yeah, so just a trim today. Okay. And obviously you heard us mention about the asymmetry in the cut. Is that something that you would like, just kind of balancing up? Yeah, you would. Okay. So we can definitely do that. Yeah, you're wanting to go a little bit darker as well. Okay. So when a client mentions going darker, what I really like to do is actually bring some color swatches in. I think it's really important to actually bring some visual representations in. I also, and again, I don't know whether you do this already, I'm sure you do, but I do like to avoid using words like ash or caramel or honey, because I think sometimes everyone has their own interpretation of what that color actually is. So it's really good to just, like I said, bring in a color chart so they can actually see what they're looking at. Okay. So yeah, so we know that the client wants to go darker, and we know that they want the asymmetry of their cut resolving today, which we've said we can absolutely do that. And then what would we be looking at asking next, of course? Yeah, so how do they want it styled? Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and you're wanting it curled today. Okay, so there is a curl pattern already there, of course. Would you like that enhanced, or would you like a little bit of a looser curl? Yeah, okay. So that's fine. We can definitely do that. I was just saying to our hair model before you came in that she has really beautiful, long, thick hair. So it really gives us a chance to practice curling this wonderful texture and length. So that's really good for us. Okay, so we've established that the client wants a cut. We've established that they want a little bit of a darker shade, but we're not certain what exact color yet. And we also know that they want it curled as their finish, okay? So that's good. Yeah, so you can ask absolutely what products they're using on their hair at the moment, and you can ask them, like I said before, what's their ultimate goal with their hair. So you're happy with it as it is. You're just wanting a little bit more of a revamp, okay? And that's why we're going darker. Yeah, absolutely. Okay. So we'll bring in the color booklet as well for you to take a look at so we get a definite plan as to what color you want to go today. Okay? Is there any questions so far, Erica? Anything that you wanted to ask? Yeah? Okay. Yeah? Okay, gotcha. Yeah. So what would we do if a client didn't have the hair condition to be able to have color on today? Okay, absolutely. And that's a really good question, actually. It's something that we do tend to encounter more, I would say, if somebody's wanting to go lighter than somebody going darker, but it's a really good question. So what I would do in that instance is explain to that client that actually the condition of their hair at this current time wouldn't accept the color very well. Of course, we know when you apply color on hair that is really compromised, the color just doesn't hold the same way, and it just doesn't look as we would want it to look, okay? So I'd really make sure that we explain to the client that they won't get their desired result with the condition that their hair is in at the moment, okay? And what I would do is sit the client down and have a really thorough consultation in regards to what they're wanting long term, okay? So we really want to emphasize condition over color, and the priority would be getting their hair to a condition that would accept the color really well. So we can of course detail some products, we can give them a list of products, and we can also give them a regimen to try at home as well, okay? So instead of just telling them that their hair is not in good condition, which of course may not land very well, you obviously don't have that problem. Your hair is absolutely gorgeous. But if the client did have that issue with their hair at present, then that's how we would address that, okay? We'd make sure that we're not just declining a treatment, but we're telling them that actually long term, this is what we need to do to get that color looking really good, okay? Does that make sense? Yeah, okay, good. All right, so let's go get the color booklet and let's talk that through with our client, okay? All right. So we do have our color booklet here today. It just helps you actually visualize the colors. So what I would do is always tell the client where their starting point is. I think that's really important. Oftentimes the way we see our hair color isn't actually the way it would look on this chart. So someone who is a level 7 may actually think they're more of a level 8 or even 9, okay? And of course this lady does have a little bit of a, I would probably say a little bit of a lighter end. Yeah, there's definitely some light ends there. So I would bear that in mind as well when we're mixing the color, but also when we're discussing the colors as well, okay? So I would say, sweetie, you are probably, I mean, what are we thinking, Erica? What would you say in terms of color at the present time? What would you say our lovely client is? Yeah, so I would agree. I think she's probably about an 8. Yeah, I think, as I said, the ends are a little bit lighter. I probably would say possibly a level 9 on the end, actually, though. Yeah, okay, all right. And we want our client to look at where they are now. So we're saying probably around here, and then where they're wanting to go, of course, they can just point to us, okay? Yeah, you're not so sure. That's okay, don't worry. So you did say you wanted to go darker, so let's have a look. So as we said, we're probably around here right now. So what are you thinking about something like this? So this would still keep you in the blonde shade, but you just would have a little bit more of a warmth there. Yeah, okay. And we could probably mix that with something like, I don't know, Erica, what would you mix that with? If she wanted just a little bit of a darker shade than that, what would we be looking at? Yeah, absolutely. So I'd probably mix in a little bit of a 7 as well, just a little bit of ash in there just to kind of neutralize it a little bit. Absolutely. And does that seem okay to you? So we're going with this, and we're just going to mix in a little bit of ash just to make sure it's not quite as warm. Yeah, okay, absolutely. All right, so we will go ahead and mix that color for you, and then we will go ahead and apply it. We will be applying it in tandem as well, okay? So you will have quite a few hands on your head at one point, okay? All right, now are you sure I can't get you a drink while we're gone? No? Okay. Just go ahead and let me know if you do. Yes, I think this is quite a good. I think we do have enough product here, but we can, of course, mix some more up if we need some, okay? Now, what I will have you do is if you do, let's say, if you take, let me say you do this side, I will do this side, but I of course will keep rotating and making sure what you're doing is okay. And obviously if there's any questions, just go ahead and ask, okay? All right. So you've got the color there. We are just going to section your hair, okay? And just gonna brush it through just to make sure that there's no tangles. Can you just look down for me? Thank you. Just to get those pieces there. Fabulous. Okay. And Erica, if you could section for me this bit there, and then I will section this here, okay? And of course, when we're coloring the full head, we really want to make sure that we have a really even application. So what I would do is get the comb and just make a little bit of a section there to begin with. Yeah, you got it. Yeah, just section that for me. Thank you, sweetie. Yeah, brilliant. Okay. And let's see. Go. Yeah, that's a really neat section, Erica. Actually, that's a very good section. Well done. I think we could possibly just change that section, make it a little bit thicker, I think, actually, because if you see here, you've taken quite a large section, but then this next one is a little bit, yeah, you can see it's, yeah, you've taken a little bit too much there, but that's okay, that's absolutely fine. So we'll just take a little bit of that out. There we go. And I will just do some sections for you here at the front as well. Yeah, okay. There we go. All right. Now, are you happy, Erica, with the placement now of the sections? Yeah, completely. Yeah, I'm absolutely happy. They look really good. Well done. Okay, so let's start applying the color. Now I would just make your client aware that obviously the color we're using today is going to smell quite strong. We have ventilated the room, but if you do feel at any point like it's a little bit too much, don't worry, we can just open some more windows or we can take a break, okay? Yeah, you're all right, okay. Alrighty, so why don't I go ahead and take this section here and you work on the back, and as I said, we can rotate, okay? All right. Can see that our hair is taking really well, so we're definitely going to have a good final result here. Our hair is taking it very quickly as well. Let me just see. Yeah, perfect. You're doing absolutely wonderful. How are you finding the smell? Is this okay? Yeah, you sure? I know for some people it can be a little bit too chemically. We do try and use products that are a little bit more pleasant smelling, but it is quite tricky with good color. It does tend to smell quite strong, but like I said, just let me know if it's too much at any point for you. And what I like to do as well, and I can see that you're already doing that, that's fantastic, but I do just like to brush the color in, and then if you just come around to the front for a moment, thank you. What I like to do is obviously brush it in, but then just kind of mush it with your hands a little bit like that, and you can really see the color distribution. Yeah, okay, fabulous. Do you have any questions about the color application? Yeah. Yeah, so you can absolutely just mix it a little bit more toward the end just because they are a little bit lighter. What you can do, and I don't necessarily think we needed to do it with this particular client because of the condition of her hair, it's perfect. But if you do find that the condition of someone's hair at the ends is a little bit more porous, I would probably leave that section until the end. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Okay, perfect. I think you're all done. Lovely. So, yeah, you're doing a great job. I probably would do that as well. Yeah, just look underneath and lift the layers up and see if we've missed any, and we can see that we haven't. We've done a really good job. Well, you have done a good job. You've done most of it, haven't you? Perfect. Okay. All right. Okay, so we'll leave that on now for about 30 minutes. So we get you a drink. You're certain that you don't want a drink of anything? Yeah, maybe a cup of tea. Yeah, absolutely. Do you take any sugar in your tea? Yeah, one. Okay, absolutely. All right. So I will go ahead and get that for you, and we will see you shortly, okay? All right. Sweetie, so I'm just going to towel dry your hair a little bit, and then Erica will be blow drying it for you, okay? But I just want to get you towel dried a little bit first. Just get the back as well. How are you feeling? Are you still okay? Yeah. Yeah, you're enjoying it. Good. Some people do tend to really like it, actually. They like the the student being able to practice on them, and they feel like it's quite relaxing to just have things done to them rather than have to keep engaging in conversation or feel like they have to constantly be switched on. Okay, so Eric is going to pop back in, like I said, to blow dry you, and then I will come in and assist with the cut as well. Okay? All right, sweetie. Okay, let me take a look. Oh, this is beautiful. Yeah, you've done a really good job blow drying it as well. Absolutely. And the color is just wonderful. Have you seen it yet? You have? Yeah? You like it? Good. Good. Yeah, it's absolutely. Yeah, that's perfect. Okay. And I can see that you've sort of sectioned it for the cut, which is absolutely wonderful. I will just add another section, I think, around here, because I do think... All right, so what we will do is, if you want to start from probably around there, and then I will start around here. And like before, we'll sort of just keep rotating, okay? So we'll go very slowly with the cut, and we can then join at the back, okay? All right. Yeah, that's perfect. Absolutely. I probably would just level it out a little bit more. Just, yeah, absolutely. There you go. Fantastic. Yeah, just a little bit there. Brilliant. Okay. Yeah, that's wonderful. You can do if you wanted to, so you could section it a little bit more. You mean just around here? Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely, sweetie. I'll give you another clip actually, so you can do that. There you go. Okay. Erica, any questions about the cut? Yeah, you can do. So if you wanted to section it slightly differently, you mean just with the front section? Yeah, absolutely. So come around to the front, sweetie, and I'll show you. So you can section it if you wanted to like this, or, and I will actually just show you. So you could do, that instead, and then just pull the hair ever so slightly and then cut out like that. So you can absolutely do that, or you can, I'm sorry, I'm just going to get in your face a little bit, excuse us whilst we just do the front, or you can do that, so you can kind of go at an angle and also have the hair down in front. And I do find that actually when I'm doing clients, I do find that a little bit easier to do. Does that make sense? So in terms of the sectioning? Yeah, okay, good. Yeah, so let's take a look at the back. what do you think we should do in terms of the asymmetry that we established before? How do you think we should go about sort of correcting that? We have corrected it ever so slightly, but yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so you go ahead and I will just watch you do that, sweetie. Thank you. Yeah, perfect. What you can also do, and I will just sort of squeeze in there behind you, you can just lift it at an angle here actually and do something like that. Yeah, can you see how it's layering a little bit as well? So it's just really evening that out. Yeah, absolutely. Okay, there we go. So now we will go on to the styling stage, okay? So we've already established that the client wants curly hair. So we can go into the back and we can bring in a mixture of rollers, of a curling iron, and I also say we bring in the straightening iron as well, because we could actually loop the straightening iron to do some curls as well. Yeah, so we'll be back with you in a moment. Do you want me to get you anything, any snacks? No? And is your drink still warm there? It is. Okay. What I think we do, let me just warm up the curling iron and let's have a look what else we brought. So now, what are your thoughts on doing a hot roller on the top and then doing the curling towards the end? Yeah? It would, so it would give us a little bit more volume here, which the client has already said that she really wants that. And then toward the end, we could use the curling iron just to give that slightly looser wave. Yeah, okay. So let me show you. Now, there are lots of different ways to apply these, I'm sure you know, but what I like to do is just give the hair a little bit of resistance and then wrap round like that, and then you can secure it if you want just by getting one of these clips and just sliding it in like that. Okay, so yeah, so you go and grab another one and we can do the rollers together.